collapsed them. I literal collapsed. We was on the west side, on the west side of my mother's house. And then, what was it, Thursday night, maybe? Man, there was so many black youth on the street, standing on the street, ain't nothing for them to do. Nothing. And you know, that's a workshop for the devil. That's right. That's a devil's workshop. There's no jobs. You go into, what I'm saying to you is this. I went into Dominic's at 1 o'clock, it was 12:30, 12 a.m. I walked down the aisle. They don't have stock boards. They have stock men. I'm having a flashback in my mind. I remember when I walked in A&P at that time of the morning, you know, they got grown men, 40 to 50 years old, stocking shelves. Like, that used to be the teenager's job.
Right.
So they ain't got nothing to do. So they in the street selling dope or whatever. So you got a crazy system that is actually melting down. And as the chaos generates, the politicians have very little answers to straighten this thing out. They're trying to keep the can down along, roll the boys, trying to push it off for long. But the day of reckoning is at what? It's at hand. And it's important for you to ask the Father, the Holy Spirit, to guide your instruction. Let me say this. As I go through this lecture, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you examples of how this body could be almost, I don't know how to say it, it could be to the point of very near death. I mean, so poison, it's such a toxic environment that as far as you're concerned, that it's impossible for it to be brought what?
Regenerated.
To regenerate itself. But there are situations where it comes back. It comes back to that situation. So what I'm saying, I'm using that even in the most toxic environment we're going through, it's possible to prosper in a situation. But you have to have some wisdom and knowledge to prosper. As was in the Depression, there was 10,000 millionaires made. And most folks didn't know where the next building was. They wasn't living in a farm somewhere like my grandfather was and had plenty of cattle. Most folks in the city was going, they're just starving crazy. So we're going to show you some basic principles that are laid down that can be applied for the physical body. And then you can apply it to the economy and see that the economy, it ain't coming back. Because they don't have the proper antidote or they don't have it in mind. Let me say this. This healthcare system is not going to come back. It's bankrupt. And in fact, it's blasphemy against Yahweh. They don't have no intent of healing you no more than that pig about being a mechanic. No. The whole thing is concerning money and what? Power. And you don't even have control over your own body. And if you don't know how to exercise some type of control or some wisdom, and you believe what some of these people do without some type of investigation, you can be in heat, big what? Trouble. But we're going to go through some of this today. So everybody should have a copy of those three things. I see just those two things. Just before we get started, just want to give you some statistics here for black people. You take cancer rate, for just something like just say something like like prostate cancer, or something like leukemia, or various diseases that black have, especially black men, don't have it here. The statistics is almost crazy because you see that when they get cancer, the chances of them surviving is very what?
Very slim.
Very slim. Very slim. No, I didn't bring this statistic, but you can go to the Cancer America site and look up some of these things, and you can see the death rate is almost crazy, and really it's a result of having really a lack of what? A total lack of knowledge of a situation that these situations can't be turned around. So, again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. This morning, should I say. We're going to, this afternoon, so we'll get started in 2 minutes. I got some scriptures I want. But it's important to keep in mind that all things are possible in the belief. I don't care how crazy things are. Things that you turn around. But it requires some knowledge and some wisdom that you need to handle these such toxic situations. When I say toxic, not in the body, but you may have illness, but also within your life. I mean, the death-like, and it's no way for it to be revived. So how do you survive in something of this toxic nature? The prosperity that you knew it was false, it will cease to exist. And people are preparing for food and guns and everything else. Because to give you one example is, as we had our Gold Wealth Club, I don't know if people saw it, was on the news, just a clip. In the state of Illinois, there's a county called Alexander, down in southern Illinois. See how financially strapped these folks are. They had all their police cars repossessed. The county had all their cars repossessed. They laid off over half their policemen, and then they couldn't put anybody else in jail because they couldn't pay for it. And that's a county, that's news, but you didn't hear it nowhere. You heard about Tiger coming back for the Masters. Yeah, right. But as far as those are key pieces of news that you need to understand. That you got counties, municipalities, and states that are on the brink of bankruptcy. And see, now how do you survive in such situations of such dire consequences? This is a financial storm that comes along every 500 or every 1,000 years.
That's right.
And you having such a shift, tectonic. I said, like these, just like the down in Chile, you get that 8.8 earthquake. You wait till you get 10 and 11. You have continents moving. And then folks don't know that Yahweh is really what? Real. See, it only those that have the spirit of Yahweh with the knowledge that they're going to be able to sustain themselves in such chaotic time. I just want to show you what happens when a county can't, they get their cars repossessed. Police cars. So then, how do you protect yourself in such a chaotic situation? We told you 7 years ago, when we entered this 2000, we said Mad Max would be from y'all. So people are fighting. Folks are going out being survivalists. They're doing anything they can sense that this thing, they will not hold this thing together. And it'll be very interesting these next 2 years in this country. And the next presidential election is going to be wild. Whoever gets Obama goes in for Obama in his second term, it's going to be worse than what? The first. It'll be the worst than the first one. As we hit the bottom, and when we hit the bottom, we go flatline. You know, flatlining, we come down and we just go what? Straight across. There won't be no growth or nothing. High employment. It'll be just like Jamaica. This time you got people that are heavily what? Armed. Both are what? Crazy. And crazy, both those that are looking to protect themselves, and those that are actually trying to take. They want to take. And whether they can keep this thing under control, it would just be a matter of time that they can see that they just won't be able to lock down. And as we told you years ago, there'll be no-go areas. My father got carjacked on Harding. I told you don't go into it. As I tell my wife, you don't go in the black station. The black filling station at night, that's already no-go. Right. If you go in one of them stations, you're in trouble. If you ain't vaccinated. And this is what it is. It's coming down to those situations. You're going to have certain areas that will be totally no-go if you don't know nobody in there.
You're absolutely right.
See, and that's what's coming. Just like these projects, but they're going to be spread out areas. Things I saw in the future so terrifying. You get a bottle of whiskey, go to the mountain, stay drunk, and somebody said, Lee's all over now. It's all over. See, that's what I'm saying. The founders just say the same thing as this thing melts down. You see it. And I'll tell you this. People are losing it as they see that you have a whole crash in the system, ain't nobody went to jail. Nobody on Wall Street, and they ain't going to what? They ain't going to jail. They ain't going to jail, and they're going to do some more pillaging and what? And plundering. As this thing, let me tell you something. If you never lived in the country, you missed a whole lot. Because I've seen vultures pick every single sinew off a skeleton. And don't quit until it's plucked what? Clean.
The bones stand in the sunlight.
The bones stand in the sunlight. I've seen that as growing up in the country. If you ever seen that, and that's what the people on Wall Street, they intend to pick you literally what? Clean. You won't have a nickel to your name, and we all be working for the government, and we'll be saying, telling these people what to do. Now, how this thing is played out, we don't know. It's a lot of ifs and ands. Let me say this in closing. Get started. There is a division within the military. and the CIA. So this thing is split up. The devil's kingdom is not what? The devil's kingdom is not whole. And the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, and the Illuminati, if they think that they got this thing locked down, they got another what?
Thing coming.
They got another thought coming, and then they got other enemies. So this thing is such like a wild man. And all you just sit back, and like I tell people, I'm gonna sit back and eat popcorn.
You ain't lying.
And I know what's coming, and I know what's gonna take place. I have a general idea of what's happening. So, and then I want Ezekiel, the 28th chapter, the first 9 verses. You're living in perilous times. Now, they're supposed to be voting on this thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. For this health bill. And people don't have an idea of what that represents. Like I said, if you haven't lived in another country anytime, that means if you get sick, they'll put you in a queue. In a queue, that's a line. Just say you need an MRI. You come in and diagnose with cancer. They say, okay, you got everybody's on help. You know, they got so many machines in the city of Chicago. Everybody's on help. Oh, you're on this car. They said, you know what? It takes about an hour and a half to do that. Am I right, Don?
That's right.
An hour and a half to do a machine. Do want to put you through a machine. They said, you know what? Come back in 3 months.
That's right. Your case is not that serious.
You know, or your case is not that serious. Or your case, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got 3 months for them to put you through this or surgery for 3 or 4 months. Now you got cancer 3 patients, and what happens to you? It goes to 4. And see, it's growing.
That's right.
You don't know nothing about the herbs.
That's right.
So the stuff gets worse and worse. Right. So if you make it,
That's right. The ignorant will die.
see, if you being ignorant, you may die before you get there. That's all right. You ain't got to pay the bill.
That's right. They don't want to pay the bill nowhere.
That's the whole point.
Nothing
That's the point that we're trying to make you conscious of what's truly taking place. And you're in a kingdom. You're in an empire that has fallen apart. This is just like the Roman Empire in its last what?
Last days.
Last days, you had those royal families, and all they did was fight amongst what?
Yeah.
Amongst themselves. And they were down by the folk. They was fighting for the power, or fighting for control over power and control over the purse.
That's right.
And Juba, he out there trying to sell a bloke. A blunt. And a nickel bag. And he don't have a frank clue what's what. What's going on? Until they come and take it to the camp. So,
did you want an Ezekiel about the leaf and medicine? It's John 15 and 1 about the true vine.
Okay, give me John 15, 1 through to 9.
Or you can go to 14.
Through 14? Okay, John. And then give me Ezekiel then, I get that.
Is that about the leaves of medicine?
Yeah, that's one of the first 4 verses. So John 15, through what? 14? Okay, so let us get started. So again, I'm going to thank everybody for coming out this morning. So what you hear here, very few places you don't hear. Maybe on the internet, but it's for, you've had mostly a lot of white people. But you ain't going to find, you find it in very few what? Black organizations. And it's a crime because they're going to suffer what? Primarily the most. And let me say this, if this thing gets real crazy, don't let them go to ration. Because if they ration stuff, that means just like they got down there in New Orleans, them people that live in the night what didn't know how to get what?
They didn't know how to get jack.
That's it. So, I mean, the people at the top get that to come off the top, and the rest of everybody got to what?
They got to scrounge up their own.
They got to fight amongst themselves. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to really know Yahweh. You have to really be tied in to the spirit to be able to survive what's coming. You can see it on TV getting worse and worse and worse. You want to tell you that there's a way out.
That's right.
There's a way to survive this stuff, and it's meant to go into chaos. Can't nobody change that.
Right.
Only thing you can do is be able to sustain your right mind and be able to prosper in a situation where you don't lose it. And Yahweh has always provided for the elect a small remnant that has an ear to what? Hear and discern the signs of the time and be able to make preparation. The Spirit has always worked that way.
Right.
So again, thank you for coming out, and we'll get ready for a prayer.
Yahweh, thank you so much for all your blessings. Continue to protect us during the coming hard times. We know that there is nothing to fear because we have you as our Father. Just as you protected Joseph in Egypt and Daniel in Babylon, we know that no matter how hard things become, that you are our protector. Continue to protect us. Continue to love us. Thank you for letting us be that chosen few. All in the name of Yahshua Messiah. Let's all say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
John 15 chapter, 1 through 14 verses. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. And this is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments, and abide in his love. These things I have spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if ye do whatever I command you. That was John 15, 1 through 14 verses.
Ezekiel 47 and 12 to the end.
And Ezekiel 28, 1 through 9.
28, 28,
Both of those.
28. Okay, this is Ezekiel 28. The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyre, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am El, I sit in the seat of Yahweh, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not an El. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of Elohim, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasuries. By thy great wisdom and by thy merchandise, thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Elohim, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart. Behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am an El, but thou shalt be a man and not an El, in the hand of him that slayeth thee. That was Ezekiel 28, 1 through 9. This is Ezekiel 47 and 12. And by the river upon its banks and on the sides and on the side shall grow all the trees for food, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall its fruit be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to its months, because their waters issue out of the sanctuary, and its fruit shall be for food, and its leaf for medicine. That was Ezekiel 47, 12.
Again, I want to say to everybody. Good morning. Scripture lesson, you heard that Ezekiel 28th chapter, it talked about Tyre. Tyre was a city of the Phoenicians. Phoenicians is the alphabet came from, ABC, all that stuff. Also, it was a great merchant empire. And you have to be one of the greatest merchant empires in the last 7,000 years. And we were probably the most blessed the way we came here, because you're in the, really the head of the beast. Either here in London or what, America. This is the honcho. This is the market that dictates or rules the world. Now, what I'm specifically going to go in is that it's said that they have become gods.
That's right, thinking.
At least they have believed that they are gods. And as a result, they dictate the things that take place in this world. In this world, on this earth plane, as far as what nations prosper, just like China. You don't think China 25, 30 years ago, 30 years ago,
They were backward country.
and it was a backward country. And the powers that be decided, okay, it's time to use China for cheap labor and raise them up.
Same thing with the Arabs.
And the same thing with the Arabs. They're riding around with camels.
Right.
See, and when they decided to take Africa back and use those resources, and in fact, the resources, as far as they're concerned, they are not their resources. They are what? The resources of the people are not theirs. See, and they go anywhere where they take what they want. And in fact, our sons and daughters or whatever, they'll use as what?
As slaves.
And not as slaves or as soldiers that go in. So we ain't in Iraq, we ain't in Pakistan just to ensure some type of justice.
Right.
These are merchant empires. This stuff nothing has changed. War is about two things: money and power. So now we come back down to bring it right down home. We're dealing with the financial great hegemony, which is basically almost one-sixth of the GNP, and that's the health industry. And it's also another monopoly that has total dictatorial powers. In that sense, when I say dictatorial power, you have no control over your body. You have no control of what you put in it. You're told what you put in it and what treatments you will what? Receive. And a lot of times those treatments that you will receive for those things, that they are not for the best interest to sustain the body. In fact, we're going to show you that there's almost blasphemy. The way that they have decided to practice medicine as it's modern day practice. They made some fantastic progress. But we're going to show forth that is indeed the case. And as we say there, this monopoly dictates how you maintain your health or in treatment. Just like they dictate the money that you got in your pocket is a paper bill. It's not backed by what? Gold or silver. That's the reason why it doesn't have any value. And when you go into the store, you look at a bag of potatoes, it's $1, it's half of its ad. See, so you could see something that is wrong, and as Ezekiel pointed out there, they have become gods. They have gotten much gold and what? Silver. At our what? Advantage, and they have impoverished us, both from a physical wealth standpoint and spiritually. But in terms of our health, we are being impoverished daily. The food that you eat is denatured. They've been making food. They're making food just like they make cars.
Empty.
See, that's empty. And that's why I say as this thing begins to unwind, your health is of primary importance. Because when this body begins to deteriorate, not only physically, but also the psychological state, the mental state begins to what? Deteriorate. One of the things that cancer patients fight, besides the tumor and the pain and stuff, they become very depressed.
That's right.
See, because basically they're not eating and other things are taking place within that body that's altering their psychological what? State.
Right.
See, so you can begin to see then how this thing is set up. And we're going to talk about that. But I think what I should do first of all, let me do it this way. Give me the 15th chapter of John, and then give you the 46th chapter. Now, the same people, the same family, if you follow the bloodlines, remember, this is nothing new. Nothing has changed, even in Africa. You say, I was in my tribe. Well, the bloodlines rule that tribe. So you ain't coming in there and ruling nothing. That's right. The king, his wife, and the priest were two powerful what?
Two powerful people in the tribe.
And two powerful people in that tribe. And you wasn't in that part of that village.
King and priest.
this, you have these powerful families. In this case, the Rockefellers, which is also an oil family,
And a drug
banking family, and they're also the ones that set up our currently what? Pharmaceutical industry. So you're dealing with powerful bloodlines. It's just like if you go back to ancient Egypt, you always had monopolies, people that dictated, control one thing. By that, you had these caravans that would leave Egypt and go into Babylon and go around. And there was one family that did all the silk business. One family that did the salt business. You couldn't come up and say, well, you know, I got this idea. I want a part of this, the caravan. They said, no, that happened. If you try to push it, you're going to wind up what?
I'm the same.
With your head chopped off. So those families, there was, you know, it was a nepotism. So with the white man system, and people said, I heard black people talk about, well, when we, I said, well, too much different than what this is. Depending on what bloodline you was in, but if you was a common folks, you was in what?
The same body.
It was the same bodies and the same thing happened here. If it wasn't divinely or spiritually laid. But now this thing has been perfected through technology and stuff, so their control is almost what? Total control over the minds and masses of folks. So we have been so dumbed down, that's what I'm going to show you, that we have chosen a path. The path that was chosen was well over 100 years ago, that was in existence for 5,000 years, is that you had a herb. Herbs were used as what? As medicine. And this existed for almost 5,000 years. By the time we got to roughly, let's say the 1900s, somewhere around there, there was two paths that was taken. The path of the herb line, this herb line was what? Herb and alternative, it was wiped out just about. And this became the more dominant what?
Yeah, allopathic.
The allopathic method became the more dominant. That's drugs and etc. In other words, they disannulled this, they played this down, and what they did is basically the pharmaceutical industry taking over, and they begin to manufacture all types of synthetic drugs and espouse them as superior.
That's right, told a lie.
Over these herbs. As a matter of fact, they disannulled, although 30 or 40% of their pharmaceutical industry are based on what?
Based on herbs.
Based on herbs. So my point was, when they made this change here, see, this destroyed this part of it, when I say destroyed, but it altered the whole mind state. Now it became money and power and dictated this. It is a huge monopoly. See, now prior to this, you did have the monopoly here because who had the power with the herbs was the what?
Priest.
Yeah, the priest.
Was the priest. The priest had this knowledge. Very few people other than the priest understood how these herbs work and the power that they have. As a matter of fact, this lecture is called The Power of Herbs, and as they empower this tabernacle, this temple. So what empowers this tabernacle, the temple? For this temple to sustain itself, it has to have these herbs. There's no substitute, and if there is a substitute made by man, it's going to bring about all power in this tabernacle, because the Creator Himself, Yahweh, Elohim, this tabernacle, your body is made in the image and likeness of Elohim. And as that's the reason why the food that He made is sustained. So you have the Creator who created the body, and also the food or the material, the nutrients to sustain it and maintain it. See, then you come along with it.
That's right.
Or to only a few select people have really understood these herbs. As a matter of fact, they played down so much, even though you can go to Walgreens, you see it in the you walk down the cosmetic section, you see all these herbs in these products. People use them, and they don't have the faintest notion. They use them mostly externally. Because they want the outward beauty. They don't understand that most of that is what? It's herbs. But they haven't put the piece together. In other words, listen about this. Whatever the devil will do, he do it in plain sight, and two people too stupid to even see the signs. Now this stuff is used in skin, cosmetologists and the hair and stuff, but nobody has taken the understanding of the full extent of what it does internally to regenerate the various systems in the body, to sustain them, to renew them, and to purge these things. So what we're going to do is begin this way. As we told you, the priests were always the ones that had the power or the knowledge. In Hosea, the 3:16 or whatever it is, he said, "My people perish because of a what?"
Lack of knowledge.
So it's a lack of knowledge of this that has caused people's health to deteriorate to say in such a state of condition. I'm saying even in such toxic environment that you're in, the food that you eat and stuff, in spite of all that, I'm saying, given that, with the right herbs, you still can sustain yourself. And I'm going to give you an example. Penny, give me that Ann Wormwood book. I'm going to show you what I mean by the power of herbs.
Is it in your?
It's in one of the pockets there. In 1952, what they did, they got some pigs, I think it's some pigs, and they irradiated them. They gave them a fatal dose of radiation. And one of the worst poison that you would ever have is radiation. You're in trouble. Now, they are lying, tell you that there is no what?
Cure.
There is no cure or antidote for it, you know. Put it out in person, you got a radiation or somebody die.
That's a lie.
This is hard. You don't understand anything. But see, not understanding metaphysical principles, for every poison, there's always been a what?
Antidote.
For every poison, there's always been an antidote. You just didn't know. And they found out by using, for radiation poison, we're talking about herbs, radiation, poison. They fed some pigs some cabbage. I think it's cabbage and I think it's broccoli. I will read this a moment. And what happened was they had two groups. One that just, you know, get them normal stuff, bread and water. They was dead. This other group that they both were given fatal dose of radiation. This group lived 15 days longer.
Live 15 days longer.
15 days longer.
Okay.
And they found out, they said, wait a minute. So they knew it was something to what?
Something in there.
Something in the plants that was able to offset the most toxic form of radiation known to man. So, what does that mean? I don't care how toxic any idea in the mind is. You're a toxic idea.
That's right. Bring captivity.
A toxic idea. No, very toxic idea. We was in Gear the other day. We pulled up to this car, and the guy, the movie said, "Kill this bitch, kill this. I want to shoot a pig." And let me sit there. And they said, "It's all what? Craziness." But then you got adolescents, especially black male adolescents, 16 years. That stuff is very seductive.
That's right.
Seductive. And that's a toxic what? Idea. Next thing you know, it doesn't take much to set you off. You do something what? Crazy.
That's right.
And you said they're doing 80 years in
joint.
Huh?
In the joint.
In the joint.
Right.
This toxic idea was allowed to be permeated in your consciousness to permeate that. So it's toxic. And so you got two things. You got a physical side of the body, and you also got a psychological component.
Right.
And that psychological warfare being practiced on you daily in terms of the ideas that you have and also the types of food, the stuff that you eat. Okay, did you find that many? Book? Okay, I want you to read two things in this. Ann Woodward. Let's talk about wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is very powerful. We'll talk about that in just a moment. It's another antidote for what? For cancer. So whatever toxic food that you eat, I'm giving you another example of what I mean by having something very toxic. There are Okinawa and Japanese are very smokers. They smoke a hell of a lot. I mean, like 5-6 packs a day. But they have the lowest incidence of cancer of anybody, any white person, in a white nation. Why is that? It has to do with what? Their diet.
They eat a lot of green.
They eat a lot of green, kelp, and all this other stuff. Seaweeds. Yeah. So that stuff offsets anything. I don't care whatever you eat.
Right.
So if you have the proper antidote to offset that stuff doesn't have what? It doesn't have the fact of it. We'll talk about the whole process in just a moment. So what we're talking about, what we're digging into is what is the purpose of herbs? What is the purpose of herbs when Yahweh, the Creator, created? What exactly is our purpose? And once we understand the purpose, then we understand how that operates spiritually.
That's right.
Then we come down to this. I think I'll do this first, get it out of the way. I told you that knowledge knowledge was by the priest. Let's do it this way. Knowledge was by the priest. The priest had a total monopoly on knowledge. So you couldn't go nowhere and get the giant, not unless an angel came to you and said, okay, this plan is for this is that. That's how you got it. But most of the time, they had their own class of students.
That's right. The priests.
The priest had most of the priestly clan that was trained in herbs. So Bobo and Juba didn't get a chance to have this type of knowledge. This stuff was very privileged. And for you to get the knowledge, the only way you would, if you got sick, you got to bring some eggs up there. He may want your daughter in exchange.
See, you get something. Somebody give something.
Somebody give something. In exchange for this knowledge. Now, where I'm going with it tonight is that my point is this. You're going to watch a short video to show you how people, Yahweh is just turn up the name. Yahweh himself is knowledge. The Holy Spirit in you, in other words, you are a tabernacle, and God is in you, and people get revelations daily on things that they didn't study no institution.
That's right.
They didn't receive no medical degree or nothing.
Right.
But yet they get this idea, the sun comes up like the American Indians. They put these herbs together. When they put these herbs together, they came up with a cure. And for instance, a cure for cancer. They said it was a war. Nixon had a war on cancer. We lost that war. We wouldn't have to win that war anyway.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And the war was already won because Yahweh had already made the what? The medicine for the cure for the disease had already been made from the foundation of the world.
That's right.
So it wasn't they weren't trying to find it.
That's right.
It was a money making what?
Right.
Operation.
Another line.
See, and in fact that they would tell you that medicine is not as the herbs are not as good as their medicine. Not even blaspheme.
That's right.
Because they call Yahweh a liar. Because he said his medicine. I ain't saying nothing. See? Now, my point is it requires some type of knowledge. Now, my point, and this is where I'm going. Now, people that did get this knowledge by whatever means, revelation or whatever, when they went out to cure people of a disease that's a cancer, they would walk before a council and told them they couldn't be doing that medicine.
That's right.
See, we're going to deal with one cure. We did 2 cures, I think we did. We'll deal with Hoxie real quick. And then we'll come back and run this thing real quick to explain to you of the power. That's what you're dealing with, power and control. And that's the reason why this stuff here. See, if you know this, herbs, then you receive freedom. See, with this here, under the current system, you go what?
Bondage.
You're in bondage or you're enslaved. That's the reason why nothing ever gets done. There's, they say it's a cure for this and that. With the amount of money that we spend, we have the worst health care of any industrial nation in the world. I mean, amongst the white nation. So you say, of the world. So you say, well, what's going on? People just don't understand. So we're going to go and play this Hoxie video first. Now, Hoxie was a cure in the 1900s. He found some herbs that cured cancer. And you know what happened? He got in what? He got in hot trouble. Now, when Yahshua the Messiah came, well, it's Jesus Christ. When he came down, he started curing people. And he got in what? He got in trouble. And if the Messiah was here today, he could live 30 days. That means the hospital's going to be out of business. Abbott Lab, and all this. Wait a minute. He got to what? He got to go. Because you deal with all these folks, the nurses, the doctors, x-ray technicians, they done lost what? They done lost their job because everybody wailed. So then that shows you right there, there's no what? There's no money to be everybody being wailed.
That's right. Ain't that a shame? No money and everybody.
And there's no money if everybody's wailed. How you going to sell somebody a box of aspirin? All they type of pharmaceutical drugs when everybody's wailed.
That's right.
Or if everybody had the knowledge of knowing about these herbs, they can demand a better health system than they are. And the current health system would be running amok, dictating, and acting crazy. The health costs wouldn't be half as crazy as it is now. But nevertheless, this is where we are at. So we're going to play this video here. It's only 5 minutes, and then we this is just one cure. Then we can go into explaining to you what herbs are, the purpose of herbs, and then
non-toxic herbal tonic, a nutritional program, an attitudinal approach to healing. Harmless though it seems, this treatment ignited one of the most bitter controversies in medical history. It started a cancer war between organized medicine and and one man, founder Harry Hoxsey. The trouble began with what seemed like good news.
And we now have in our files and our records many, many thousands of case histories, records, pathological proof, X-ray photographic studies that we do positively